Welcome, punters, to day 4 of the 4-day Carnival Champions Day, the grand final of the Carnival. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Very well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. I'm tired. I'm losing, so I'm I'm still alive. So there's the positive.
Mate, we've just got past Oaks Day, and there's still
Mm.
one very good day of racing to go. Championship Day.
Yeah, I think I've backed one winner personally for myself and the community over the 3 days. So it's been a struggle. I'm tipping I won't be the only one, but if you're winning, geez, well done. It's been a tough going, I think.
No, it definitely has. What was it? Before today, there was only one winner, one favourite across the first 2 days of the carnival.
Wow, we and well, Adelaide horses have had more winners than favourites. There you go.
Yes, doing very well.
Have you seen the carnival, mate? It's been good, I thought.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good to see the buzz back around Melbourne, especially when it comes to the Melbourne Cup. I thought this year was the first year since we've been out of COVID environments that things were back to normal when it came to the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've got to put my hand up here. I've been critical of crowd attendances and thought we'd be down, and no, it looks like they've boomed again, especially with the prices to get in. No, good. It's good to see. Maybe Flemington have got it right and got the right acts to play after last to get this younger generation through and at the races because Derby Day was good, Melbourne Cup was good, and did you know the Oaks had more attendees than Everest?
There you go. Look, Flemington's a little bit larger in terms of their capacity.
Yeah.
They probably would have had more in the corporate marquees than what they had attendees at the Everest, but
Yeah.
I do believe that. Yeah. Now, look, I think it's great to see people back into the spring carnival environment.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's good to see it's rocking and yeah, it's good. It's hopefully numbers are up and turnover is on the other way, but I don't think so. But that's another story.
Now,
Last
I
week,
do.
Matty.
Yeah, I do just have to pull you up because you mentioned you haven't had many winners, but I'll tell you what, you did tip people into a few last week. We started the day off with Kaizad, and the community were very happy about that.
And
You had Queen.
we laid the favourite in the first as well. Oh, the
Absolutely.
Waller horse, sorry.
Absolutely. The one that just came down after its first start win. Then you had Queen of the Ball on top. You didn't back it, but you did say you had it on top.
Yeah.
Uh, we both had Amazonian Lass at
Yeah.
double digits.
Yep.
I said that I'd be backing Osmosis down the straight,
And
which I did.
I did tip that horse at $3.50 to win the Coolmore. It's
You did, yeah,
$18. So I'm gonna claim that.
yeah. No, I snaffled up the 20, so I'll
Yeah.
take that. And you had Roof Rocket, so you did exceptionally well with Roof Rocket, and we landed the pineapple as well.
Yeah, that was a good pineapple, mate. It was a good find. I think I said to you on Tuesday before our podcast, I'm like at the 300, no, at the 200, yes, at the 100, no, 50, maybe, and then oh, it's just won nicely. Yep, it was hard to give it a yell because it was in and out, in and out.
Yeah, there were a few multis within the community that were riding on that one, so I'm quite glad it found the line. Old Melkar Pindari.
Yeah, no, nice horse. Yep, the multis were very good multis going in. So it was a good 5 minutes for the community. So I'm sure a lot of us did clean up off what we were doing.
Absolutely. It was good to see we were able to find a few last week.
Yeah, it was. And Melbourne Cup, mate. Yeah, I'm just more annoyed at myself. I said in the preview, how are we getting $7 for a Caulfield Cup winner? And I sort of just talked myself out of it. Just 3,200. Didn't think it was going to run it. And yeah, when it booted home with 200 to go, had to look away. I was just disgusted in myself.
Yeah. Look, I was on Salcombe, and the old Magic Murder Man definitely got the job done there. I don't know if Salcombe would have got the chocolates if it got some clean air, but it would have been good to see a tighter finish.
Oh, definitely tighter finish. You can guarantee that. Yeah, the critics have been out, and yeah, I don't know. Did he start shitting the bed when they were starting to straighten, and he was getting a bit worried? And and I always say put local jockeys on because they know the horses around them. And my opinion is he didn't know that without a fight hits a flat spot. And Zara was quite vocal in that. He said for 50 to 100 meters, he hits a flat spot, but that's him just getting ready to go. Did Moreira know that? No. You could see him. When he thought it hit the flat spot, he just went right into a dead end. And it's like, what are you doing? It just, local talent know the horses around them. They know which horses to follow. And again, international jockey just that's just my opinion on international jockeys. I'm not bagging him as a jockey. I think he's a great jockey, but yeah, local talent at local tracks, I think give these horses lengths over international jockeys.
Oh, and I mean, everyone said it, but hats off to Mark Zara. He was patient. He was held up as well. So
Yep.
he needed to wait for a gap, and he did it. He did not move. He counted to 5.
Yep.
He found a gap open up, and he took that gap.
Yeah.
And I think we just saw the difference between two jockeys, and they're two different styles.
Yeah, and he knows he's ridden in Melbourne Cups before, Zara. He knows gaps will open in a Melbourne Cup. Like those horses coming back to him, they're going to be just coming back to him, but the gaps will come because there's so many horses. It's so roomy. It's not Moonee Valley. So, yeah, I think, Zara schooled everyone.
Oh, look, didn't get the winner. So obviously no collects there, but second, fourth, and fifth, I think.
Yep.
With Ash Run and Absurd.
Yep. Yeah, I was more dirty with 300 to go, looking at Absurd, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on here. I gave a fair income yell, and he just didn't want to go after that. So maybe I've cursed the horse. He's heard me have the yell, and he's gone backwards. But even Vauban, that was very, I don't know. Is it disappointing, or do we look at it as a horse that we knew it wasn't up to it? Like we did not rate what this horse was doing.
No, and look, neither of us wanted to take the odds on offer. I know it drifted out to about $5, $5.50 at one stage, and I didn't even find that very attractive for the horse. Look, good horse, and unfortunately, it got undone by the very, very solid pace that was set within that race. And I think Absurd and Varon Declare were really the only ones that were kind of in the first 10 horses that really held on.
Yep. Yeah. Great race. Glad it's over and we can move over to Champions Day, mate. And hopefully we're going to do a race by race preview of Champions Day, guys. Hopefully we'll steer you in the right direction like Derby Day. Bets around the grounds. We've got a couple. Multi. We stunk that up. And Pineapple Week, as Matty mentioned, he's in the chair again. So we can almost take it to the bank, I reckon, this one again. To all the listeners from Melbourne Cup Day, thank you. If you're back again, please subscribe on YouTube or any podcast platform, because if we find you a few winners, just as an appreciation, just go over to Spotify. Please rate our show, like it on Spotify, however you listen. Please help us out by that. That's all we ask for, because everything we do is free. No hidden paywalls. We do it for the love of it each and every week. So if you like what we're doing here and you want to be part of our community, we all do it via WhatsApp. And thank you to everyone that's joined over the last couple of days. I've had a lot of inquiries. I will get back to you guys. It's just been a busy couple of days with work and punting. So you will get in, trust me. DM one of us, will put you straight through. Track stats. It's unknown what the rail position is. I'm tipping, Matty, you don't know either?
No, I checked before we came on and it hadn't been announced.
Nah, it definitely will.
We'll see if there's anything.
I think it'll definitely be pushed out. How far? Maybe 6 meters, but whatever it gets pushed out to, punters, bet it's going to be an even track. It's just going to be tempo related. Nice weather today, tomorrow, and Saturday. I think there might be a bit of wind around, but yeah, just bet with confidence. It's going to be a nice track because it was good yesterday, good on Thursday, nice on Tuesday. So bet with confidence. All right, Matty, race 1 is the benchmark 90. My speed map, I've got Typhoon Harmony leading. Sequestered sits outside leader. Japanese Emperor, I think, will roll forward from 8. Acceleration will sit behind him with Von Hawk. And then, yeah, Frail Flung sat outside leader last start, barrier 1. They could hunt right up behind the leaders, but they could also be behind. And then, yeah, King Gesture, Highland Jack, what a deal. Lyrical Lad out the back. Matty, your thoughts?
And I could make a case of 6 of the 10 horses in this race, but the ones I'll concentrate on here will be around Japanese Empire, who I'm actually going to have that on top here. $12 at the moment. You can get probably 13, even 14. It's got Legato and attrition form from back in March in the Australian Guineas and ran it exceptionally well there. Look, it may be looking for a little bit further, but I think that it's going to get the run that it needs within this race. As you said, from barrier number 8, it may push forward. I think it'll be able to find a slot with only 10 horses in the race. Acceleration and Far Flung, I think they're probably the other two that definitely need to be taken into consideration. But I think in a field where I can definitely make a case for at least 6 of these horses, I'm quite happy to go with the value in the first race, Damien Oliver, to get us off to an absolute flyer. His last championship day, and his last Flemington Carnival during the spring. So Japanese Empire around that $12, $13 mark to kick us off. How did you see this one?
Yeah, mate, it says benchmark 90. It's basically a benchmark 84. And Japanese Emperor is an 83 rater and it's got 56.5 kilos. Like, yeah, I think it's well in the weights. It's a good find for $12 to kick off the day. Definitely not going to talk anyone out of a double figure first race. Acceleration, I think it jumped out really well. It's had 3 jump outs. Most recent it was really good. It was against sprinters in that jump out and it handled itself quite well. One was Explosive Impulse out the back, who's won down the straight before a couple of weeks ago. He gave a windburn pretty much under medium riding. $6.60. It is a 2,000 meter horse over 1,600. Yeah, you're taking a bit of unders there, but that might be the way we go. Sequestered, wowee. You could have had your life savings on it and you were going to get a return at 300 meter mark. This was winning by 5 and then ends up being beaten by 5. It was a run that was telling me that it was a fitness run. It had no fitness, but it was third up. And yeah, it confused me a lot what happened with this horse. And I can't get my head around it. $4.25 top odds at the moment. I don't know. Oh, Mick D's on board. It's a horse I'm happy to leave alone. Yeah, Exhalation, I think I'm going to have a little spec on, but definitely I'm going to follow you in with Japanese Emperor, mate. Good find, I reckon, for the first. Race 2 here is, I've got to turn over. A listed grade race over 1,200 meters. And my speed map, we load. Najim Sahale won't run because it ran on Thursday. Yeah, this is a.
Might have 3 starts in a week.
Yeah, well, you never know. You just never know. I never count it out, but I'm confident it won't run. Parseval, Lee's Rangers there, Lombardo. He hasn't found near the front for a while. In his best racing was when he was on speed. General Burrow will be thereabouts. This is going to be a really yucky tempo. I think they're going to go real average here. So you're going to be looking for horses up on speed. Matty, your thoughts on race 2?
Yeah, look, the 3 here that I was concentrating on, Parasol, Rangers, and It's Our Time. Look, you can definitely make a case for Parasol. I think it'll probably run quite well. Barrier number 4 is the concern here for me. I'm going to be looking for horses on the grandstand side for these straight races. Rangers as well from barrier number 1. That's a huge concern for me. It's not going to find the part of the track that you want to be on. And that's why it leaves me with It's Our Time on top, around that $5.56 mark. Always runs well down the straight. Doesn't necessarily always get the job done, but I think it will get the benefit of barrier number 11 here, Worm. So It's Our Time on top of Rangers and Paracel. How did you see this?
Mate, I'm don't really want to get involved. It's a nothing race for me. But look, if you got to twist my arm, I think Paracel is on top. Form around Queen of the Ball and Magic Time to when it was first up off a freshen in 7th of October, led and only went down by a length. Magic Time is going to be favourite for the Rupert Clark next week. Coming out of the invitation, 1400. I don't think it ran it. So back to 1200 suits. Barrier 4, not bad. J Mac on board. Do I want to be taking $3? Probably not. But yeah, happy to leave it alone. But Paracel on top if you really want something out of me. Race 3 is a listed race over 1,400 metres for the 3-year-olds. Speed map, Eugenuous and Don't Hope Do is the leaders here. Schwartz, Snapback, and Pantalone are going to be together. Pantalone might be 3 wide, no cover if it's not careful. Eugenius and Don't Hope Do from barriers 15 and 16. So they're going to have to push across. Lose on Gin, Reprisal, Alonso, Miss Aria, Nadachi, Riviera, Power, both all in that midfield section. Going to get nice runs. And then you got Mow Down and Quickstar and Treasure Way out the back. Your thoughts, race 3, Matty?
Worm Sports, very, very short at the moment, around about that 240, 250 mark. Look, it was quite a good run on Cox Plate Day at the Valley, and doesn't necessarily run into the same type of horses here. Interesting to note here, Worm, that James McDonald got up extra early on Melbourne Cup Day and went down and did the track work for Swartz and has quite a fair opinion of it. Very similar to their stable. So I can see why it is favourite, but it can win without me at $2.40. I won't be taking a piece of that. The ones that did interest me were at the top of the page, Snapback and Pantalone. I think Snapback finds a race here that is definitely winnable. With Mark Zara on board. The 60 kilos is definitely going to be a bit of concern when the rest of the field is only carrying 55 and below. So that is a bit of a concern, but you are getting $9 to find out. So Snapback and Pantalone started at $1.75 last start down at Geelong. Decent SP and only got done by, call it a head against Baldini. So I think Pantalone is one that they haven't found right now, around that $7 mark. So Worm, I'll be playing those two. Now, I'm not saying that this is an absolute lock and load job because Swartz can definitely get the job done, but it can win without me at $2.40.
Yeah,
Worm, how did you see this one?
Yeah, definitely like your thinking there. Benchmark 70 last start for Pantalone, $1.85, and now you're getting $8. So I think they do come for that come race time because, SP punters will be all over that. But I'm with Schwartz here on top, completely stuffed up last start. At the start, whenever I mapped this horse to lead, it had to go back and just start slowly. Made good ground. On a day, it was very hard to make ground at the Valley. Hit the line very well. 1,400 shouldn't be any issue. Nice barrier, sits handy, gets J-Mac. Tick. 270 now top. It was $3 earlier. I think that was the right price. 270 is a bit poison. And as you said earlier, big field, could see some rear ends if it does jump slowly. Quickstar, Eugenius, and Alonso, all good last start runs, and they can run some really big races, but Schwartz on top. Race 4 here, Group 3, 2,600 metres, Queen Elizabeth Stakes. We definitely haven't got a Solcombe in this race, but we do have a speed map in. Knight's Order to lead. Regal Power I've got sitting outside leader. Kukaracha, 3 wide, no cover, I reckon. Duke de Sessa, barrier 2. I reckon they'll use it here and push forward. Tiramisu can be midfield, perfect spot. Port Phillip, midfield rail. Miramasa 3 wide with a bit of cover. Then you're looking at your big ones here. Your Luncies are made. So Dazzling, Pesto, Ladies Man, they're all going to be back midfield and worse. So be interesting to see how far stretched out they're going to be and if they're going to be within striking distance. But Knights Orders and Regal Power to lead. Matty, race 4, your thoughts?
Miramosa, I've got that on top in terms of the ratings here. Back-to-back wins have been very good. And this stable, Busted and Young, they are absolutely flying at the moment.
Yep.
Look, it is an even race. So, again, the $5 is a price that you do need to consider. Is that a price that you want to take in a very, very even field? Well, next in line, I had to look at this 3 or 4 times to make sure that I wasn't making things up, but I did have Regal Power next in line. Again, I think this is a race where he's down in class. He said that he may push forward outside a leader. He may do that more of a midfield role. If he does do that, I think he's going to get the race shape to get a toe into around the corner and show his acceleration across the last 300 metres. So Worm, I do have Regal Power second, and for that reason, that's probably what I'll be playing. And then next in line, Luncies and Pesto, both around the mark. Again, no real confidence in this race, but I could potentially find a play with Regal Power, Luncies, Pesto around there. But again, I'll be betting very, very carefully into this race. Worm, how did you see it?
You don't give Duke Cesar any chance?
Oh, mate, I do. I definitely do. He was, what did I have him, 5th or 6th in running. So, yeah, I think you'll probably find it's going to be $5-6 a field.
Yeah, I think Duke Success is coming out of the right race. Caulfield Cup finished a couple of lengths behind Solcombe, who finished 5th or 6th in it. We know what Solcombe did, Melbourne Cup. So it's the right form lines. You're getting 420 for that horse, and I think that's a nice price to find out if you like it. Yeah, I'm just don't know about this horse. There's horses that come back in grade and they're just a non-winner. I'm not saying this isn't. I do think they'll come for this horse. I think this is the one that firms, but I'm with you, mate, with Regal Power. I've deleted the trainer's name, so I can't see it on my computer just here. What it did last start was it was gone at the 300 and looked to bottom out, and it was kicking back through the line. He was going again. So what I don't understand is this is its full fair income prep for a while because it's been injured and off for a while. And then last prep, it only had 2 and they put it straight back out. So is it just not fit and it's actually getting fit? And last start said, hang on, I'm right at my top now. $17, I'm keen to find out. Mick D goes on board, so that's a good one. The other one that came out of the same race was So Dazzling. You're getting $10 to find out here. I know map isn't ideal for this horse, but it was, typical Moonee Valley, unlucky, but through the line again, strong. It's on the minimum. I like that. Same with Regal Power on the minimum. I just don't want to be diving into Duke de Sessa, even though it does have the right form to be in this race. Race 5, the Group 2 Matriarch TAB, 2,000 metres. I've got Deny Knowledge leading. I think Soul's Choice would be right behind it, or it's pretty much trying to sit outside leader. Mustang Valley here could be 3 wide, no cover if they're not careful. Papillon Club, perfect spot, barrier 5, on pace, beautiful. Osmos, former European, so that it just doesn't jump as clean as we do in Australia. So he's going to miss the kick slightly, but he might be able to hunt up to get there, or she might be able to. Steinem's going to be in 3 wide, 3 wide with a bit of cover. Is it DJ for this horse? Jesus, it might be a muncher. I don't know. Out the back, we're going to have She's a Con, Philosophical, and Amokura. Matty, your thoughts for race 5?
Interesting one. Where did you have Osmos in the speed map with Timmy Clark?
I got him just on pace, but probably 2 pairs back because he'll jump slowly, but he might be able to hunt up to get right behind those leaders.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's probably a good spot for him to be. Look, I'm actually going to have a 3-bet play here, Worm. I think deny knowledge around that $5-6 mark, I think could be a decent play, backing up out of the Pride of Jenny race. Much better suited to being up to 2,000 metres here. So I think that's quite well suited. Amakora with Damien Oliver on board. Look, gets out in trip, which is what this horse needs. Ollie had a ride up in Queensland on this horse across the Queensland Carnival, and it scored a very, very impressive win. If it can replicate anything like that, it'll put this field to the sword. And at $14, I'm definitely going to be having a piece of that. When the other one is Osmos, around that 750 mark. I think that needs to be a play here as well. It wasn't that bad last start against Wishlaw Lass at the Valley, and I think it'll probably be better suited here at Flemington. So I think it should settle, as you said, in, let's call it the leading bunch, and from there should definitely be able to get the toe into the race that you do need and continue with that momentum. So, Worm, it'll be a 3-bet play here. It'll be Amakora around that $14-15 mark, Deny Knowledge at $5, and Osmos at $7. I think we can find the winner out of there. How did you see this?
Yeah, mate. Amakora is one I'm wanting to follow into the autumn. It's only going to have a light campaign. Well, they say that, and then they probably go 5 runs deep. But no, as you said, mate, the Queensland Oaks, great win. Ollie rode it that day. Yeah, first up, just unsuitable. 2,000. Second up, I'm keen to see what it does. At $14, you don't have to have much on. You can go each way, 1 by 3, how we like to do them sometimes. Yeah, I'm not going to ever talk anyone out of that. But yeah, it's a race I'm happy to leave alone. But yeah, got a real keen eye on Amakura. Steinem, I think it's D-Day. It's just a frustrating horse. Yeah, it's just so many ifs and whens. Like She's a Combatter, you were given a push earlier this year about this horse and excited, and it just hasn't done much. I don't think it's had a lot of luck. So if you have backed She's a Con this prep, I think you got to keep following because, yeah, she has something in her that will smell a win. Is it this Saturday? Maybe. But, yeah, I've given too much airtime for a race I'm not interested in. So, race 6, Matty. Group 1, here we go. Big boy stuff here, or big girl stuff, whatever you want to call it. Group 1, 1,200 metres, Tab Sprint, Champion Sprint. Speed map, I have front page leading here from 7. Ashfur, I think, will be right on the hammer with Star Patrol, Bella Nipotina from 1, or it'd be probably in the middle of the track, Bella Nipotina, because they'll probably put the barriers in the middle, down the straight. Imperatriz, I've just got them with Star Patrol and Bella Nipotina and In Secret, that little bunchy horses. Airman thereabouts, but out the back you got Lofty Strike, Espiona, and Buenos and Noches. Matty, your thoughts, race 6?
Definitely do have Imperatriz on top, and then post that In Secret and Bella Nipotina. Now, obviously, it depends on how this horse handles the straight. We know In Secret enjoys going down the straight and tends to find a length. Bella Nipotina, no issues down the straight either. So, in terms of Imperatriz, again, these straight races where I want to be is towards the grandstand side. I think Imperatriz will be able to do that from barrier number 8. In Secret will need to do a little bit more work from barrier number 5. Probably find itself more in the middle of the track. And I just wonder, especially from what we saw today, Oaks Day, if that's the place that you want to be. Bella Nipotina from barrier number 1. Unfortunately, the barrier doesn't do it any favours here. We saw it run exceptionally well up in Sydney. Runs quite well down the straight. Worm, I think Asphora needs to be under consideration just from a place point of view. Be interesting to see your thoughts on that horse and whether it can run out a strong 1,200 metres. And I thought the one at very long odds. Lofty Strike, proven that it can run a very, very quick 1,200 metres. So I think that they're probably the two to consider just for your exotics. But I do have Imperatriz clearly on top. Worm.
Yeah, good race. I think we can only talk about 3 horses. So that's Imperatriz, In Secret, Ashfura. The rest, I'm putting the line completely through, and we're not even going to give them airtime. Ashfura, we'll start with it. Yeah, mate. There's doubts over 1,200 metres, but it's the perfect race to find out. She's been no knock whatsoever. She's an absolute speed demon. If this was 1,100, I could almost fall into this horse. But 1,200, I don't know. But good luck to her. I love her to bits. And if she wins, I won't be upset. But yeah, Imperatriz, it's done nothing wrong. It's had the perfect prep, mate. We all know that. It can only beat what it's up against. I know it's probably beaten a C grade, just B grade in the Manicato. But you can only beat what you did, and it smacked them. Don't worry about the rating of the race. It doesn't bother me. It's just what the eye did, and it was impressive. And In Secret, yeah, some people say it could have won the Everest with a better ride, all that sort of stuff. It loves the straight. Fourth up, probably grand final, or part of the grand final. I'm scared shitless of In Secret because if there's any horse that can beat Imperatriz, this is it. But I'm happy for Imperatriz to be on top. 220, probably the right price. It can only do is keep winning. I don't know what the market does here, but I think the big boys come to play in this and they smash this and could be $1.80. That's my guess. But great race. Imperatriz on top. Well, you could almost say Imperatriz versus In Secret.
Fair. I think a forecast in terms of the price. I think you're right. It probably does start around that $1.90, $1.80. I think it's going to be more to do with the multis that are put on. So I think this will definitely be in quite a lot of people's exotics and multis. So if you do want to get that price of $2.20, I'll probably be shopping around before Friday night.
Yeah, good point. It'll be in a lot of multis. What have we got? Race 7 here. The Group 1 Champions Mile, 1,600 meters. Pride of Jenny leads. Yep, we know that'll happen. Alligator Blood and Mr. Brightside sit together, I reckon, in second and third. Victoria Road, Barrier 1. We should kick up and be behind them. And then out the back, you're going to have your inevitable Banker's Choice Fangirl. Fangirl's the one that interests me here from a speed map point of view. Now, it could easily go back to last from Barrier 7, outside barrier. But with Pride of Jenny in this race, he's going to put some gaps between horses here. So it could almost try and fit him around the bright side, Victoria Road area. It could be midfield if it really wants to be. So J-Mac on board. Just keep an eye on it. Fangirl might be alive in play with this. But, Matty, your thoughts for the Champions Mile?
A cracking race. Be really interested to see how this one pans out. Again, you imagine Pride of Jenny goes forward, Brightside, Alligator Blood sit behind it. Fangirl will be behind them again. I just wonder if Pride of Jenny does make this into a truly run race, who that advantages most. And for mine, it's Alligator Blood. Even though Mr. Brightside is the best miler in the country, I think Alligator Blood right now is probably in the form of its life and was very, very close to winning the Cox Plate. Now, the other question you need to ask yourself is, a lot of these horses, Fangirl, Alligator Blood, Brightside, have they already had their grand finals? Does it open up for someone like Pride of Jenny to lead all the way? Or if they do go too hard, are you going to have Victoria Road or the inevitable just flashing home? they're all possibilities. And when you could play this race out 20 times and get 19 different results in my mind. So for that reason, I think I'll be sitting back and I'll be watching this race. I can't see myself betting into this with any type of confidence. How did you see this one?
Yeah, very hard race, mate. I'm almost down the same boat as you here. The hard race, as you said, Brightside and Alligator Blood. I'm going to leave Fangirl out of this combo here because I think Brightside and Alligator Blood both been up a while here. So, yeah, man, we know what happened Cox Plate into this race last year and in the stakes race as well. There was no form out of that. Yeah, Zaki won, but I don't think there was any form out of it. They ran their races in the Cox Plate. So, I don't know. We know Brightside was always coming to this race after the Cox Plate, but I don't want to be with those horses out of a Cox Plate. Inevitable, Banker's Choice, Vic Road, keen to leave them alone. Fangirl, well, she's the one. Yeah, it just depends where she sits here. If she can slot right behind Alligator Blood, Mr. Brightside, I think she can overrun them. But if she goes to last, I can't see she doing that because we know what Pride of Jenny's going to do. It's going to be out in front. It's going to try and, beat them around the side, set up the big gap and go for home. Now, it all depends here with Timmy Clark on Alligator Blood and Willow on Brightside. How much lengths are they going to give it a head start? I don't think it's going to be anywhere near what it was in the Empire Rose. I think they're going to sit a lot closer, but not right behind it, but just within striking distance. And all right, we know they're going to try and time their run for the last 50 meters to go straight past it. Great race, especially with Pride of Jenny in it, kind of running a solid tempo. Yeah, can't wait, but I'm just going to stay out of it. I can't even put anything on top because I've just got no idea at this point in time. All right.
Mate, Brightside 5 races in this campaign. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And he's probably had
so
one
start
full
number
run.
6, it's start number 6 for that's it. And it's start number 6 for Alligator Blood as well. Not too different. 4, 2, 1, 1, 3. Then you've got Fangirl and Pride of Jenny, who are going to be up for race number 5. So, interesting, especially considering you would assume that they've all had their grand final.
Yeah, 100%. And Jenny's on a 7-day backup after a absolute gutbuster. So, wow, we can't wait. You could have 3 bets and get it completely wrong. Race 8 is the Champion Stakes TAB. Speed map. I've got Zaki West Wind Blows together leading. Setting a nice tempo, I reckon. Prow West right behind him from Barrier 4. Zayrek there as well. Young Werther, Montefilia together. Buckaroo, I think he's going to be unfortunate. 3 wide, no cover with Pinstripe covering it. A Tissue, Due, and Boiter out the back. Matty, your thoughts for Champion Stakes race?
Interesting, Zaki. Now, this is only its 4th start this prep because it was interrupted. So, came 6th in the Cox Plate. Look, I think it'll definitely be on speed here. It should be quite well suited. West Wind Blows, obviously we know the form in the Cox Plate behind the in the Caulfield Cup behind the Caulfield Cup winner and then the Melbourne Cup winner. Definitely need to take some consideration there. What price can we get on West Wind Blows at the moment, Worm?
I think it's around $3.
Okay, interesting. So no one's come for it yet. Duas was a fantastic run, and the Edward Cummings stable have got this horse running almost back to what we saw a couple of seasons ago, which is fantastic to see. A Tissue run behind Pride of Jenny, almost got the job done. James McDonald thought he was going to get there, just couldn't get there across the last 100 metres. And we've got Prowess heading up from 1,600 to 2,000 metres. We saw it, how impressive it was in the autumn earlier on this year when we backed it, and then saw it run on Cox Plate Day. We thought it might have been running the Cox Plate. wasn't to be. I think we'll find it'll be there next year over the 2,000 metres. So I don't think the 2,000 metres will be any issues whatsoever for Prowess, West, and it will definitely improve. In saying all of that, Worm, look, I think West Wind Blows, if that's getting out towards $3, that's becoming quite an attractive betting proposition. I did have, I think a tissue will run exceptionally well here. So I think a tissue on the backup, it didn't have as a gut busting run as what Pride of Jenny did in that race. So I think a tissue for me is definitely a betting proposition, along with Zaki, and Zaki more so for a place. So I think it will run fourth up exceptionally well. So they're probably the two that I'm leaning towards. But West Wind Blows, if that gets out any further, that could definitely be a play alongside a tissue.
Yeah, nice. $3 West Wind Blows. This horse started $5.50 in a Caulfield Cup. We know what the winner's gone on to do in a Melbourne Cup. So this horse clearly comes out of the best races. It's clearly the best horse in the race at this point in time. But some way we're getting $3. I thought we'd get $2.20 maximum. I thought it'd be around $1.80 just for what it's doing. I'd love to know. This is a stat, and I can't think of the horse. It was a Godolphin one. It was third up, and it ran over the Carnival years and years ago, and it went horrible. This is its third start as an European inside a month. That's rare for Europeans to do this. Now, is the horse cooked? It could be, but would they bother running it if it was? I don't think so. I think we've got to trust the camp. They're doing the right thing here. Best horse, best form races, mapped advantage being up on speed. I'm keen here to be with West Wind Blows at around $3. Take it now because I think it starts closer to $2.20. I think race of the day here, mate. Race 9 to win the carnival of all carnivals. Honestly, before I get stuck in, Matty, how is this the last race of the carnival? Like, fuck me dead. We've had some of the best racing we've had. Why not end it with Champion Stakes or the mile or the sprint? So everyone goes home remembering that race on the day over the carnival. Instead, we're going to be looking at a bunch of busted up horses here that are qualifying for a benchmark 80 race down the straight. I'm freaking believable. Like, like dumb, just dumb. Put the group ones at the end. Like, keep everyone on track. Everyone will go home. No one will be left at 550. That's my rant. But I've got River Norbois, the leading, Title Fighter leading as well from 11. Give Giggles together, Pink Bow Tie together, Mornington Glory up on pace with Zach the Boss, Anilia together with Along the River, Madame de Gas, Kin, Lounge Bar, Ruby, Buse, and Fiesto. The rest are out the back. Matty, give us your thoughts on the race of the day of the carnival, even though.
I can't believe you're putting this race, which is called the World Horse Racing Grand Handicap. Get a few more adjectives in there. Yeah. You would think that this is a Group 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, Worm, I'm seeing this one very similar to you in terms of finishing off the Flemington Carnival. I don't think they've done themselves any favours. But in saying that, there is someone that needs to win this race out of the 16 horses and the 3 emergencies. In saying that, look, I've got to have Kin on top. The McDonald Cummings combination from barrier number 15. Again, I'll say it one last time. The grandstand side is where I want to be for these sprint races. So that's where Kin does find itself. The other one that did interest me was the Gavin Bedgood's stables, Mornington Glory. Last start winner down at Geelong over 1,100 metres. Around about that $8 mark at the moment. I'll definitely be including that one into my quaddie, and there will be plenty more, but they're the 2 that I've got on top. Worm, how did you see this one?
Oh, mate, I've got a moral. I think there's an absolute moral in this race. No, there's not. No matter if you're winning or losing, punters, just take a quaddie, go wide in the last leg so you're at least alive in the last leg and you can cheer something on, because this race is bloody impossible. And trying to get out of jail after a 4-day carnival, don't bother. or trying to even win more because you're cleaning up over the foot. Don't do it. Just pack it up and enjoy your quaddie. If you're still alive, if you want some numbers, I think Ray Maganero was one of the best runs I've seen in some time for a country race. Best sectionals coming home out of the sale meeting, so got to follow that. Mornings and Glory, Matty, I'm with you. Ran very well last start. Good sectionals home, inside the top 10 of the meeting. Other than that, oh my God, you were either adding 18 horses in or you can add a couple. Great way to finish the carnival. Final thoughts on the card, Matty?
Final thoughts on the card. Oh, look, it really is quite a good card, to be fair.
Yep.
I found the quaddie legs just to be absolutely impossible when you've got Brightside, Alligator Blood, Fangirl into a field with Prowess, West Wind Blows, a Tissue, Zaki, and then we finished the race with 16 who not many know too much about. So I think it's going to be quite a interesting quaddie. And there are going to be a lot of combinations running around in that last leg, depending on what the first three. I mean, realistically, Imperatriz, West Wind Blows win. You go one out in the quaddie on those two.
Yep.
You find the winner of Brightside, Alligator Blood, Fangirl. Yep. Then you can have the option of going quite wide. But in saying that, there are a few. I think there's some good betting races where you don't need to have too much, and you can have a couple of bets near double figures, and you only need to find two winners for the day. You're walking out in front.
Yeah. Well said, mate. Pick your races because there is races to be picked at, I reckon. And there's a lot of races you got to leave alone. Good luck, punters, if you're playing. Hopefully, we've helped you out there. We did on Derby Day, so we're confident we can do this on Champions Day. Around the grounds, Matty, take it away.
We'll head up to Sydney, Rose Hill. We're going to race number 6 to start with. Keen on Roots here. It was scratched from Melbourne. Tommy Berry on board from barrier number 2. It will get the gun run. I think that's Caldy with Nash on board. That'll be the danger. It'll probably... I'm expecting it to lead, and I'm hoping that we find its tail and we can get the job done. We've got enough juice left over the last 100 metres to overcome Call D. So race number 6, Roots around that $3.50 mark. And then in race number 8, we will be with Antino again, Worm. No explanations needed, but probably the most deserved horse to actually get a W this campaign. So I think Antino from the inside gate here, I think that's better suited. Again, hopefully it's not too far back. It does get a gap and lets down like we know it can. So race number 8, Antino. Worm, what were your around the grounds?
Oh, geez. I'm going to ring Sportsbet and see if I can get a market on Antino being unlucky. What price you reckon I get? $1.50?
If you're lucky, yeah.
Mate, it's Antino.
I'll tell you what, Antino and Amelia's Jewel, really haven't had too much luck this campaign.
No, they haven't. And yeah, Antino deserves it because it's just been unlucky. Not jockey's fault. It's just the way the races have panned out. My around the grounds, mine's dual accepted. So it's accepted for Saturday, but it's also accepted for Pakenham. Friday night, race 1, number 6, Quick Star. It's $1.90, but I just loved how this horse hit the line last night. It was impressive in a city grade race. Yeah, $1.90, but it was city grade. This is back to a maiden grade. $1.90. Take it now because it could start easily $1.30 come Friday night. Multi, Matty, I'm going to throw in Schwartz to win race 3 and West Wind Blows to win race 8. You're throwing in?
I'll be throwing in Japanese Empire, the place in race number 1.
Yep.
And we'll also throw in Roots. Now, Roots does need to run at top 2 for the place,
yep.
But $1.80, I'm quite happy to take that. As I said, it'll sit behind Call D and should get the chocolates. So those 2 will be for the multi.
Yep. So recap: Japanese Emperor race 1 place, Schwartz race 3 win, Race 8, West Wind Blows win, and Rose Hill Race 6, Roots Place, comes to $35. All right, Matty, Pineapple, where are we going? Are we going to Ascot? Are we going to Brisbane? I'm trying to think of a racetrack you haven't gone with your Pineapple. Hobart's on Saturday. We heading to Hobart?
No, I didn't even have a look at Hobart, mate. We were very, very close to heading to Morphettville, and there might be a few in there that I'll drop in for the community. I know we've got a couple of Adelaide experts, so I'm hoping that they align up with my thinking over in Adelaide. But I'm going to stay in my lane this week. We're not going to go across to Ascot. We're going to stay at headquarters, and it will be race number 6, and we are going to go Imperatrice. Now, it is short, but $2.20. We've always said that anything over $2 is game on for the Pineapple. I think it is the bet of the card. I've got it well above anything else within this race, and I think Opie Blossom will get the chocolates for us in race number 6, Worm.
Beautiful. I like it, mate. In the big group ones, an extra bit of a yell, a bit more of extra of a bet. I like it, mate. Yeah, no, good. Any final thoughts before we end the 4-day carnival?
Oh, mate, I'm looking forward to getting out there to close out the carnival. So, yeah, it should be good. I'll make sure I drop a couple of photos onto the community for you boys.
Yeah, no, you have a shit day, mate, in wherever you're going. I've got a fair idea, but hope you have a shit one. Yep, think of all the battlers like us, mate, that don't get that sort of stuff. But nah, enjoy it. Let us know what your thoughts are, punters out there, what you're going to doing. Love to interact with you. I will interact with everyone that responds. I do respond. Yeah, you negative Nancy's out there, I will definitely won't be responding to you. But anyone that's legit and wants to have a convo, happy to have a convo. But yep, have a great end of the 4-day carnival, guys. Hope we found you a few winners. More importantly, hope you find some more winners as well. Have a great one, and we'll be back next week for Sir Rupert Clarke Day and 1,000 Guineas Day.